Very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us today on Countdown. You've just become a director of a Russian company, an independent director, Fosagro, the fifth best performing stock on the MySEX in 2014, Jim. This year up by 53%, Europe's biggest phosphate fertilizer maker. What enticed you to this company?
Well, you've done your homework.
That's it. I looked it up.
I'm not stopping you talking. You can tell the rest of this. Well, I'm bullish on Russia. Russia is one of the markets where I am. Everybody hates Russia, as you know, and I like to find something that's hated.
Yeah.
For 46 years, Mark, I was bearish on Russia. I first went there in 1966, was bearish for the next 46 years. But things are changing in the Kremlin, in my view, and so therefore I've started investing in Russia.
What's changing in the Kremlin, Jim? Many would disagree.
The attitude used to be just take the money away from them, shoot them, put them in jail, whatever it is, bankrupt them if we don't like you. But that's changed. Somebody there realizes you cannot treat foreigners, foreign investors, or capital that way. The days of communism and the KGB are over. So they've started doing things differently. And so I started investing in Russia. I found this company. I'm bullish on agriculture. I'm bullish on these guys. They're young, smart people, so here I am.
What else are you bullish on in Russia, Jim? If you're an investor watching Countdown today, how should we best expose ourselves, taking into consideration the ruble is, you know, at or near record lows?
I know, the ruble's been collapsing. That's exactly what. Well done. You've been watching Bloomberg.
I have.
Good job.
And presenting on it.
I know. Well, first of all, this company's got a high yield, and they're one of the dominant players in the fertilizer business, and I'm optimistic about agriculture. So there are many reasons that I'm keen on this company. But you ask what else? I hesitate because, you know, here I am in the land of Lenin, Stalin, and so I've been buying shares of the Moscow Stock Exchange. Yeah. Poor Lenin would shoot me if he were alive still, because it's in my view, it's a good way to invest in Russia. Yeah. There are other companies. The index, an easy way is the index, obviously, so I bought the ETF as well. There are various ways to play Russia, and Russia's hated, in my view, wrongly so, and I hope that all this is going to pass and I'll make a lot of money. And
how do you offset the currency impact, Jim?
I haven't.
Oh, you don't bother?
No, I haven't yet. You know, and if you look at Fosagro, for instance, you know, the stock, basically, if it weren't for the ruble, the stock would be up a lot this year. Yeah. And most things would be up a lot this year. The ruble has been the main problem with the Moscow stocks, the Russian stocks.
Can Russia withstand ongoing sanctions, Jim? The central bank last week or week before said the economy will be flat next year. To some, that's an optimistic call. Can it continue to withstand these sanctions from the West?
Well, Russia, one reason I got involved with Russia finally, after many years of being pessimistic,
44 years?
46 years. 46 years, was because they have huge foreign currency reserves. Yeah. And they don't have much debt. They have a convertible currency. You look around at other countries, Brazil, India, all these countries that people go on and on about, they all have blocked currencies. Some of them have debts. They don't have huge currency reserves. Like, I mean, Russia's astonishing. Once I got more and more interested and looked more and more, I was amazed.
They've eaten into a lot of their reserves, haven't they, in recent months? But
they wasted some of their reserves trying to defend the ruble, which I didn't particularly approve of, not that they care, but they have stopped. They said, we'll let the market decide. And he's a communist. You know,
and since then, the ruble's actually risen, hasn't it?
Yeah, then the ruble started going up.
They let it almost float freely.
They said the market will decide.
So much to talk about, Jim. Talk to me about China. That interest rate cut last Friday. Did it take you by surprise or not?
Well, yes and no. I don't really sit around thinking about it at all. I wish they hadn't. I would not have done it if I were China. I would have stayed tight longer, but they always get a little worried when things start going bad. China is slowing down. Its customers are slowing down. So, of course, and they've been trying to slow down. They've been trying to do something about inflation. Been trying to do something about that property bubble. Rightly so, if you ask me. But so I'm buying shares in China.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. Since the economic plenum in November of 2013, you know, the Chinese said, these are the areas of the economy we're going to emphasize. Mark, if the government's going to put a lot of money into those areas, I am too. They got more money than I do. They're smarter than I am, so I'm investing with them.
What else are you buying, Jim? I know you've been a big fan of commodities, and that's a given.
Well, agriculture, as I said before, Fosagro is an offshoot of partly of my interest in Russia and of agriculture. Japan, let's see, the markets that I have been investing in this year. new things are Japan, Russia, China, agriculture. That's where I've been putting my money. Those are all depressed markets.
Yeah, I mean,
why would you buy the U.S. at an all-time high when you can buy Japan 60% below its all-time high, or China 60% below its all-time high?
Do you buy into Abenomics, Jim, or not? Is it going to work, or...?
He's going to ruin Japan. But in the next 2 or 3 years, I hope he's going to make me a lot of money, you know, in the investment community. He's making stocks go up.
He's going to ruin Japan because of the debt burden.
The debt, debasing your currency. I mean, everything he's doing is wrong for the next 20 years.
But
for
as
the next
investors,
century.
you can make money out of that.
For this year, he's encouraging pension plans to buy shares. He's giving tax incentives for individuals to buy shares. He's pouring money into the economy.
Easily.
All of this is good for stock market. It's not good for Japan 20. If you're 10 years old in Japan, you better leave, you know. But if you're 30 years old, buy shares.
Jim, final line. Give me a line on the Eurozone. Jim's take on the Eurozone. Give me a takeaway line, your last line.
Buy Japan. Buy China.